Most people assume Social Security is this black box that the government handles, and you just kind of hope for the best when the time comes. You worked, they tracked it. Someday a check arrives. But there is a whole layer of mechanics underneath that most people never look at until they are right on the doorstep of retirement and suddenly realizing they may have a gap they did not know existed. Today we are talking about Social Security credits, specifically what happens if you are close but not quite there, what happens if you have something like 37 credits instead of the 40 you need, and whether you can actually do anything about it after you have already retired. If you have ever wondered whether your work history is enough to qualify or what your options are if it is not quite there, this video is for you. Let's break the whole thing down right now in plain language. First, let's talk about what a Social Security credit actually is, because a lot of people have heard the word and have absolutely no idea what it means in practice. A credit is essentially a unit of work that Social Security uses to track whether you have worked enough to qualify for benefits. In 2025, you earn one credit for every $1,730 of income you pay Social Security taxes on, and you can earn a maximum of 4 credits per year. That is the ceiling regardless of how much you earn. So, someone who makes $100,000 a year earns the same 4 credits as someone who hits the minimum threshold 4 times over. The credits are not about how much you earn. They are simply about whether you worked enough to qualify. To be eligible for your own Social Security retirement benefit, you need 40 credits total, which works out to roughly 10 years of work over the course of your lifetime. Not 10 consecutive years, just 10 years total across your entire working life. Now here is where it gets really interesting and genuinely useful. Those 10 years do not have to be consecutive, and they do not all have to happen before retirement. If you spent years raising children, caring for a family member, working part-time, running a small business, or doing anything that interrupted your traditional employment history, your credit count might be lower than you expected. And if you retired early, changed careers, or spent time in a field that did not pay into Social Security, like certain government jobs, you might be sitting at somewhere between 30 and 39 credits, wondering what that actually means for you. So what happens if you have 37 credits? 38? 39. You are right on the edge but not quite at 40. The honest answer is that you are not eligible for your own Social Security retirement benefit yet. The system does not prorate it. There is no partial benefit for being close. 40 credits is the threshold, and 39 gets you the same thing as 0 from a qualification standpoint, which feels deeply unfair when you say it out loud, but that is the rule. However, and this is the part worth paying attention to, you can absolutely earn credits after retirement, and this surprises a lot of people. Retirement is not a Social Security concept. It is a lifestyle choice. As long as you are doing any work that pays into Social Security, whether that is a part-time job, freelance work, consulting, a small business, anything where you are paying self-employment taxes or having Social Security taxes withheld, you are earning credits. There is no age cutoff on earning credits. There is no rule that says once you stop working full-time, the clock stops. The credits accumulate based on income, not on age or employment status. So if you are 63, retired from your main career, sitting at 37 credits, and you pick up any kind of part-time work that generates roughly $6,900 of Social Security taxable income across the year, you just earned yourself 3 more credits, and now you are at 40. You qualify. It does not have to be a full-time job. It does not have to be glamorous. It just has to be income that Social Security taxes are paid on. Babysitting the grandkids does not count. Neither does selling things at a garage sale. But freelancing, consulting in your old field, working seasonally, driving for a rideshare service, any of those work. Here is the practical move if you think you might be in this situation. Go to ssa.gov, create a My Social Security account if you do not have one already, and look at your earnings record. It shows every year of your working life and how much you earned in Social Security covered employment. From there, you can count your credits and see exactly where you stand. If you are short, talk to a financial advisor or the Social Security Administration directly about what your realistic options are for closing the gap given your specific situation, your health, your income options, and how close you actually are to the threshold. One more thing worth knowing before you go. Even if you personally do not qualify for your own benefit because of a credit gap, you may still be eligible for spousal benefits based on your partner's record if you are married or were married for 10 or more years. That is a completely separate qualification path, and it does not require you to have 40 credits of your own. So before anyone concludes they are completely locked out of Social Security, check both doors, because sometimes the one you did not think to try is wide open. If this cleared something up that has been sitting in the back of your mind, hit subscribe because we do this every single week, and we are just getting started on our way to our first 1,000. Thank you for watching. The next video is right on your screen, and I will see you there.